I've seen kings moved to tears by the size of a thing. I've seen men cry buckets of tears after I show them my ultimate dance, and I've cried crocodile tears before receiving a boot to the head. But never before have I cried tears into my shining substances. This isn't really a shining substance, and yeah, I've been saying that a lot, but Sega keeps backing over the name, so I gotta come out and set things straight. Shining Tears is, in fact, a test as to whether or not you can keep your eyes open long enough to stomach a weird two-person combat system where you're controlling one and a half of them. Inventive, yes, but even after Shining Force Exa opened my eyes to the possibility that some of these games might not be the equivalent of a kick in the ribs, I couldn't get my hopes up. Turns out I was completely justified. After standard JRPG opening number 87, young swordsman washes up on beach with amnesia and is taken in by tomboyish elven girl, you learn that the ring that fell off into the river as you were being rescued is now in your hand. That's a Penn and Teller right there. Turns out the rings allow the bearers to unite in combat. Oh, and they also turn mild-mannered protagonist there into a raging jerk, but what can you do? An elf girl decides she's claiming the other one as collateral for her hard work in being a decent person. As is standard for every recovering amnesiac in this role, we start off by doing a fetch quest for medicinal herbs, as requested by the town physician, Mevin Nuge, which of course snowballs into getting wrapped up in a political intrigue. Hey, at least the combat's kind of innovative.
Lost souls, may you rest in peace.
Granted, innovative doesn't always equate to good. In this case, you're controlling Xion and his partner du jour, because remember how the ring came back to him? Well, now you're just going to go around distributing the other ring to whoever happens to be in the vicinity, as they hack and slash through 2D battlefields full of enemies. In addition to playing Xion like you'd expect, you're also responsible for positioning his partner, which becomes important for the direction and size of their linked attacks. Elf Girl, for instance, will fire a volley of arrows in a cone directly at Xion. No subtext there, not at all. While the priestess who joins up with you shortly afterward can cast Turn Undead in a circular area bounded by the two of you at either end. Sure, the rotating cast of partners makes for a fairly diverse experience, but it's constantly hamstrung by an inexplicable item system, poor collision detection, and frustrating targeting. While the sprite work looks rather off, just in the little things like stride length not nearly matching distance traveled, the full-size character art looks impressive thanks to Tony Taka, who would go on to do character design for the rest of the series that purports to be Shining. The soundtrack feels uninspired and bland. There's no vocal performance to speak of, save for some small bits and pieces of in-battle dialogue. Even the story feels plodding, as there's very little to direct you from one event to the next, and even less to make you care. Army on the march, gotta protect a temple, we've all seen it before. And even when we saw it all before, one thing remained true. It's not Shining Force. Give me a crazy circus tent full of evil puppets or a sea monster fight on a raft, anything to break up the it's a temple, here are skeletons, and your requisite cleric slog.